How's it going? So in the last video, we talked about the first time I rode a bike. Now that was back in 78, and I learned you just have to keep pushing no matter what. You just gotta keep pushing. So, let's move forward just a little bit, and we'll get to 1979 when we moved to Texas. A couple odd things about Texas. My dad got a transfer with his job, so we moved to Lubbock, Texas, and we moved on to 20th Street, which was just a stayover. That's where they put us, I guess, or it was cheap rent, I'm not sure. But odd thing about Texas weather, changes all the time. So I don't know who wanted to. Maybe I wanted it or my sister wanted it, but we wanted ice cream. So my dad decided, well, ice cream parlor's just right up the road, so it was probably 60s. It wasn't cold. And so anyway, we walk up and go get ice cream. About halfway back, it started snowing because it's Lubbock, Texas. Anyway, so we're about froze to death trying to walk back to the house. I can't remember how far it was, but I remember being cold. And nice man picked us up, took us home. Didn't know us from Adam. He just knew he was cold. So sometimes you just have to stop and help people, no matter what it is. That's gonna be a lesson in this one. Stop and help people. There's a few other quick stories about Texas. We moved off 20th. We moved into a new housing development. New houses everywhere. And I do believe my parents bought that house. I think that's the only one they ever owned while they were together. So, anyway, we moved in this house, and like I said, it's 79, so I'm like 6. May even been 5, I don't know. But being the adventurous type I am, I decided to go check out the neighborhood and see what's going on. So we hadn't been there but maybe a couple days, if that. I know there were still boxes around the house, so we weren't there long. And I decided to go for a walk. So I go walking around the block, not thinking nothing of it. So I want to see where I'm at and see what the house looked like, and just, I'm going on an adventure. I'm 5 or 6 years old and I'm going on an adventure. Well, I remember coming back around the block, and it wasn't a very big block, it was just a neighborhood. And I remember walking in the door and getting snatched up, being in trouble. I didn't tell my parents where I was going. Great loving parents. My dad was pissed. I think he was more pissed that I had hurt my mom. I think that's what he was more pissed about than the fact that I just went for a walk. But yeah, I just remember him being pissed, and my mom sitting there, and she couldn't stop hugging me. So that was my adventure in Texas. I remember in Texas we got to see first tornado clouds when I was a kid. We were the dumbasses that were standing out in the backyard while everybody else was hunkered down. Cause we were from Washington. We never seen no tornadoes. The only drainage in the whole neighborhood. Now all the houses were built up on these hills, big old hills. All houses were up. Road was down below. And when it would rain in Texas, well, the only drainage was the pond down at the end of the road. So the water would fill up in the road, make a river from everything running down through there, because evidently we were on the main drag of the housing development there. So I guess all the water got channeled down through there. And I remember people kayaking in the streets. There was kayaks out, running up and down the road. It's really weird. So yeah, Texas was odd. And then sandstorms was another thing in Texas, in Lubbock. Because there ain't nothing, no real hills in Lubbock, Texas, up there in the Panhandle. It's flat as a pancake. So I remember we was walking the bus station, or bus stop, go to school. And my sister had a hold of one hand, and my mom had a hold of my other hand. We're walking down there, and the wind's blowing so hard it's picking me up off my feet. Like I said, I was probably 6 by that time. That would have been probably winter of 78, 79. And I'm flapping in the breeze. I'm Superman. And we got down to the end of the street where the bus stop was, and we was able to they had a concrete bus stop thing set up, so we were able to get behind that and wait for the bus. But yeah, Texas was a really weird time. See my first sandhill crane. My dad was always a hunter, so he went out and killed the sandhill crane. The thing was probably 50 feet tall by my standards. No real lessons, just things that happen. We spent a little over a year and a half in Texas. And on the next video, I'll talk about when we drove the Ryder truck back from Lubbock, Texas up to Washington State. If y'all are liking these videos, I know I hadn't made very many, but we're just getting the channel started. But if you're liking these videos, like and subscribe, and you'll see more. I'll be going through all this. It's probably going to take me, I don't know, another 50 years to tell all these stories. And as we get out of childhood stories, we'll get more interesting stories, more things I remember. So just stay tuned, and I'll keep making content, keep making these stories. Y'all take it easy, and like I always say, go get after it somewhere.